Hi everybody, this is Zerby and welcome back for another video of ours with, I think, a pretty interesting subject today. We're going to talk about one that not many people discuss, and that is how much money does a real estate agent really make? You know, a lot of people think they may make bundles, some of them think they may not make anything. What's this true story behind that, and how does that really break down when somebody sells a home? So we're going to run through that today and kind of give you the inside scoop on that. You might be surprised. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about an average sale here in our market and how that would break down for an average agent. And that is where we're going to keep everything at, is averages. In fact, the average agent in our market, our local market, sells about, you're going to be amazed, only 7 homes per year. 7 homes per year. That's it. That's the average. Now the median agent only sells about 3 or 4. So there are a lot of agents in our market that aren't making a living, but do take a lot of business. So just keep that in mind. We're working on the averages here. And what we're going to do is we're going to make up a little house here today. We're going to just call it 123 Maple Street. How's that? Here, and we'll say we're in Canyon City. And let's talk about that. Last year's stats, last 12 months, the average sales price is pretty high. Actually, it's $368,000. That's huge. It used to be the top of the line 20 years ago. The median is about 323, so we're just going to kind of rough it into the middle, and we're going to go with $350,000. What does an agent make when they sell a house for $350,000? So we'll put that in here, and that's what we're going to work off of. Now, as you know, agents work off of percentage, and the most common percentage right now, nothing said about it, but this just seems to be the trend, is that most agents seem to charge about 6% to sell a home. So we'll put that in here. We're going to have a 6% commission. We'll put that right here, so you know what that commission is going to be. But we always have 2 sides to the transaction. That 6% usually gets split between 2 people. We have the person who listed the home for sale, and then we have the person who brought the buyer to the sale. They will each get half of that 6% or 3% apiece. So we're going to break that down to the listing agent, and they're going to get 3%, and the buyer agent, and they're going to get 3%. So we know what we're working with. And we're going to run across 2 different scenarios here because there's a couple different ways to look at how agents get paid. Let's just get right into it. So we sell a house for $350,000. So we've got a price of $350,000. We take 3% of that for this agent on this side who had it listed, and 3% of that is $10,500. Now you may think, Kurt, come on, man, $10,500 for one deal, that's a lot of money. And if somebody sells 7 houses a year, that's $70,000 plus. That would be true if they got to keep all that money, but they don't. So we're going to look at how that really works out. Now, in most cases, real estate agents work for a brokerage. They work in another office for somebody else, and that office requires they split their commissions with them. Most common split right now is where the office brokerage keeps 30% of that commission, leaving 70% for the agent that actually had it listed. So if we did that, the agents split on that. So we'll put down split. Takes it down to, what would that be, $73.50. And that's a 70% split to this listing agent. He now has $73.50 to work with. That's still not the end of things. Agents have expenses. Things can be pretty high in this business. Advertising, marketing, tools, equipment, online services, computers. A lot of the tools we use, there's a lot of money that you need to spend to really be active and committed to this business. So let's look at that. Let's say out of advertising, they may spend another 10% or so. And let's say well, let's talk about taxes first. Let's get that out of the way. 20%. Withhold 20% for taxes. This will help me keep going in the direction I had it already. So 20% taxes, and now we're down to $58.80 left over in our pocket. After advertising, you're going to spend a little more in advertising. Just advertising alone is probably going to be another about $1,000. Now, you don't spend $1,000 on a particular listing by itself. That's not how that works. But you take all of your advertising and marketing expenses as a whole through the year, it comes out to about $1,000 per property that you sell. So you deduct that back out. So that's going to be, we'll just call it ads. Now we're at $48.80. And then you have all your other expenses, which would be insurance, licensing fees, that's going to be dues, subscriptions, fuel and auto expense. There's a lot of other expenses you haven't had. You have phone charges. You have other charges that your brokerage may charge you on top of the 30%. And now that leaves us down to about $38.80. There is what your listing agent just made on this deal. It's $38.80. So you take that times 7. So let's say we have that average 7 agents times $38.80, and you have an annual income of $27,160. That's times those 7 agents times 12. So you take that average, now what's left over, the $38.80, and you take it times, that's per sale, and you multiply it by 7 sales per year, and that agent will make $27,160 for the year. An average agent doesn't even meet poverty level wages. That's the average right now. Many are under 7. Many, the vast majority are under 7. 80% of the business is done by 20% of the agents. And 80% of the agents are more in this level. To get the career ones, you need to have at least 12 a year, at least 1 a month. And if you did that with the same rate, if you had 12 sales a year, you'd be at $46,500. So that's for a little bit above average agent. That's what they make. This is how it breaks down. This is what an agent really makes per year. They may sell a house for $350, but they're only going to wind up with about $38.80 or $3,900 net to them when everything is paid for. I know it sounds like a lot to come out. There's another program though, and that is when an agent, let's say the buyer's agent works for a different company or works by themselves, and they get to keep all the commission. So they do $350,000 at 3%, which is $10,500. Their split is 100%, so they keep all of it. They get to keep all of that money. However, now they're paying taxes on that. So now after taxes, they're down to $8,400. After taxes, when you work for a 100% firm, you're going to have rent. You're going to have desk fees. You can't work for the broker for nothing. They're definitely going to get their money one way or another. So if you do that and they pay rent or desk fees, that's probably going to be about $1,500 a month. So now we're at $6,900 on that. Then they're going to have advertising expense. They're going to have business expense, probably a little bit more than what the other agent's going to have. So let's say they are, because they're by themselves, their advertising is probably going to be more like $1,500 instead of $1,000, and their other expense is going to be about $1,500, leaving them with a grand total of $3,900 per deal, almost identical to the other agent. If they're only doing 7 deals a year, that's still about all they're going to make. They come out about the same either way. That's what's left over on a house after you've paid everything out of that deal when you sell a home for $350. So to be in this market, it takes at least a dozen sales a year to really be making any kind of fruitful money. Again, if you're only doing the average, you're barely making poverty level, and it may be time to look for another career path on that. I hope you found this a little interesting. I know it's kind of amazing, kind of surprising when you break it down like this, but it's just how it works, and a lot of people don't understand that. All they can see is this big number up here. They think this is, wow, I'm paying him that, or actually twice, because they're paying out 6%, so that's $21,000 that they're paying out. That a person who lists a house is actually paying out $21,000 in commission, when in the end, all that's really being kept is about $7,000 or $8,000 out of that. That's all the agents really make. Most of their money goes into expenses to help sell that house. Hope you found this interesting. It's kind of a little different, but this is kind of the inside on how agents get paid. If you got any questions, let me know. Give me a call if you want to talk about it. If you're thinking about going into the business, you'll probably find this really helpful. Give me a call and we'll talk about that. I'll help you through the process and help you get a good understanding of what it's going to take to really make a career out of real estate. Hope you had a good time with this. We'll see you all at the next video. Thanks. Bye.